Homeboyrap.com, it began, well, it was always in the streets, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't come up with the name. I just came up with a way to make money with the name. The name was always out there. I started selling CDs maybe around 2000 or so. I met up with a lot of the homies out here. I used to make beats and produce. A lot of people don't know that. Started off just trying to make beats. So I always wanted to rap. You know, I like rapping, but I couldn't rap for shit. Got a shitty voice and all that. So did the best I could. Tried to hustle out there. And hooked up with Speedy and them. I'd be like, you know, I'm making beats and I'm doing this No Love Clothing thing. They were telling me, you know, we got this rap thing going on. So we would all get together, go promote and shit like that. We would, you know, travel to different cities. They would go do the rap thing. I would take the clothes out there, give them the clothes to wear on stage or wherever they did events and stuff like that. And I would meet with the homies, and when I had extra money, I would just buy CDs off them. And I hooked up with Fat Steve and Mousy. And then when I hooked up with them, those are my partners right there. Those are my good-ass homies and shit. And they told me, look, man, you know, we out here selling CDs. Look, we get all these CDs and we get them for a certain price, you know, $5 or whatever, and we go sell them to, you know, $10 on the streets, $15. But all, you know, homeboys on the streets would say, hey, do you have any homeboy rap other than this one or that one? What other homeboy rap you got? I said, all right, you know, that's cool and shit. And it wasn't as hot when I thought about the name, like NorthanielRap.com or something like that. You know, that just seemed like too hot and for motherfuckers, and you just trying to get people in trouble. Homeboy Rap was like our rap shit. We from Northern Cali. It ain't just all, you know, gangbanging. That shit happens up here, but we from Northern Cali and shit. We doing this rap shit too. We making music. So I put that, made a little business, and just started going there selling CDs, and people started asking more and more, hey, can you get this dude from the 559? I heard of this dude Criminal, or I heard of Baby Boy N. Can you get Tito B CDs? You know him. Can you get me his CDs or Speedy Lobe CDs? I heard you know Bugsy. So I would get, you know, from all the people I know, these are my homeboys and shit, you know, so it ain't nothing to call them up, get a package, or go to their house and get some CDs and shit. So that's how it started. Man, being the first one, it was cool and shit, but it was just, I was hesitant at first. Motherfuckers would be like, you know, don't you think they're going to trip off you filming someone's neighborhood and putting it out there? But what people didn't understand was I didn't go there and just show up all of a sudden with a camera and start filming. It was like these people invited me to their neighborhood. They said, come on out, come stay night in my pad and sleep in my house and shit. And then we go into my neighborhood and I'll show you what's going on out here. So for anybody to think that, you know, I just showed up with a camera, some dude with a camera. Nah, these are my homies out here and shit. And these are all my homies and all these dudes. They might not be from my neighborhood, but these are my homeboys, you know what I mean? That's why we call it Homeboy Rap. We got that unity and shit. I can go to San Ho and Frisco and Hayward and Oakland and a lot of these other homeboy sets and not have a problem with these homies. These are my partners and shit, man. They invite me out there. So it felt good just to be able to do that and release it. It was kind of nervous at first, but the response afterwards was cool, man. Like, once it came out and everybody seen it, they were happy. Like, you know, this is how we live. It might have not, like, you might have seen somebody like Criminal and been like, you know, I don't talk like him and I don't walk like him. But then you seen a homie like fucking, you know, Tito B or Little Koner out there, but you're like, man, I'm feeling this dude. So it was like, you know, you got that cholo side over here, homeboys that grow up out there speaking Spanish. You got homeboys out here sporting grills and shit and running around in jabos and doing, you know, jumping on cars. So it was shit a lot of people, they never seen before, they never heard of, but was out there, you know what I mean? And I was just glad to show people that shit, man. It felt really good. And the response was pretty cool, man. I had a lot of people support that shit. Sold 5,000 copies of that shit all over the world. And I didn't have any distribution when I did it. I did it all by myself. So I went to the stores. I sent them out to the stores and dropped them off here and there and went to the neighborhoods and did all that shit. So it felt really good, man. I'm proud to say I did that shit. Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Kansas, up and down Cali. Fuck, man, been all over and shit. All over the West, basically. And yeah, man, it felt fucking good to travel to all those places and people just showed you love out there. And the craziest shit I had to say I seen was, you know, fuck, man, it's hard to narrow it down because like every hood had a little story, but when I was in Utah, like motherfuckers was gangster out there. You wouldn't think there's gangsters in Salt Lake City, Utah. You hear about Mormons and all this shit, but when I got out there, every time the phone rang, somebody's like, damn, my partner just got shot, or my partner shot somebody. And it was crazy, you know. Some motherfuckers might not say, oh, that's not funny and shit, but when I was out there, I remember one time this dude in Salt Lake City, he just strolls in and he's like, yeah, man, I just shot this dude. He walks in the fucking, you know, through the glass door to the apartment we was at, and he was like, man, I just shot this motherfucker, man. This dude fucking, you know, was talking hell shit, so I shot him. And then after, I went back to my pad and I got on my cell phone. I called his fucking phone and I left a message. It was like, yeah, you bitch ass nigga, I just shot you, bitch ass nigga. That's what you get. Fuck you. Fuck your life. I hope you die. And I was just like, damn, they banging on him out here. You know what I mean? That was in Salt Lake. And when I went to Idaho, I mean, I got into fights with fucking Southerners out there and shit while we're promoting. Motherfuckers tripping on us and shit. And we get into fights in Jack in the Box drive-thrus and all that shit with homeboys from other states and shit. And you know, like, I mean, something's happening all over, man. I went to Kansas and we was out there and fucking homeboys is just showing us love on the fucking swap meets and shit like that. And I mean, I could say there's a little story everywhere. So to really narrow it down, it's kind of, I can narrow it down to one in each area, but I really can't narrow it down to one in general. So, you know, there's a lot of good stories out there and a lot of loved ones and shit, so.
Yeah, I got it.
I started it in February of 2007 because that's when From the Streets of the Studio dropped, and that's when I bought my camera. And I've been working on it ever since, and it was like, man, I thought I was done 2008, 2009. Pretty much everything was done, and then some shit fucked up, and I ended up getting more footage and things like that, and things started coming in, and then I ended up getting more footage, it just kept adding on and adding on. And I wasn't happy with it at first, but now it's to the point where I'm fucking extremely happy with it. Everything that we came together to work as, me, my editor homie Chris, Abel Legend, Tito B, he's the host of this shit, my homeboy Felipe on graphics, like everything we came together is really, you know, what I had in my vision and shit. So I'm hoping to say we can release it. Me and Tito B, we're going for a release date of November 11, 2011, so 11/11/11. If I'm going to try, once we finish this, I'm sending it out to some film festivals. If I could get some acceptance on this, because it's going to be like a real documentary, then it might hold off a few more months. But if not, then we're set for the November 11th date. So let's hope for that one and see what happens. But I'm hoping for some film festivals too, so pray for us out there. History Channel, yeah, man, they hit me up. That was crazy, man. When I remember it was around probably like November or some shit. It was like Christmas time, and they hit me up, said, hey, you know, we heard about your DVD. A dude sent me an email or something, and then I think he gave me a call because I had my number on the website, and we were talking about. He said he was making this gangland shit, I had heard of it, and that he wanted to use some footage, and I was kind of hesitant, like, well, hold on, what are you, a cop or something? Like, you know, I'm always hesitant with shit like that, because I know cops are always tripping on my shit. They shouldn't be, you know, I'm trying to make films here, and just do this documentary shit, and, you know, you shouldn't be, I could be out there with guns and knives and fucking all that shit doing crimes, but I'm trying to make a film. The only thing I'm trying to shoot is my camera, so, you know, just be happy I'm trying to do that. And, you know, dudes, he said that he was making that show and they wanted to use some footage, and I was kind of hesitant. I seen how they do it, and I see how they edit, and I know about the editing shit and how people use it to their advantage. So I told him, look, man, send me a list of what you want to use of my footage and at what parts of the show you want to use it, because if you're going to use it, like, you're going to say, oh, we're talking about snitches, and you use somebody's face from the DVD or something like that, like, that's not going to go over too well. Like, you don't go back to the streets. You guys make this shit in Illinois where you guys are at, and you guys stay out there. You don't ever go to these neighborhoods back again. Me, I got to go back to these neighborhoods and shit. So send me a list of what you want to do. They sent me a list. I okayed a lot of the shit, and some of the shit I said no to just because it was kind of iffy and whatever. It was history. Homeboy Rap's evolved a lot, man. Like, it's moved up from motherfuckers just going out there with their tapes to fools going out there with their CDs to motherfuckers going out there with their DVDs now. And now that we got the internet and all that other shit, it's at that next level, man, where everybody's making videos, you know, your videos going viral and shit. You're blowing up overnight, man, so it's a lot easier for some people to get noticed out. Before, there was a lot of unity, man, like Speedy Loke and the whole Stars of Limit and Ghetto Line, and all of us, we would all hook up and go out to events and shit together, and we would all go as a crew. Like, we were out there representing together and shit, like fucking autograph signing at a taqueria in Sunnyvale or a record store in San Leandro or whatever. We all got together and came together and was just supporting. We wasn't out there trying to step on each other's toes, like, buy my CD before you buy his and shit. It was like, you know, we wasn't mad. We was just out there, here, man, here's some flyers. We don't even have CDs out here. We just supporting. And now it just kind of seems like you go to a car show and everybody's got a CD and shit like that, and everybody's trying to sell you their CD. Everybody's trying to sell you their CD before the next dude, you know what I mean? And it's just more competition and shit. But I mean, all I could say is that makes people step their game up and shit in a positive way. You know, like people are making better music now than they were before. Before it was just like, oh shit, you got a CD, let me buy it. Now it's like, you got to tie that CD. I heard about that shit, let me buy it from you. I seen your video, that video you did on YouTube was bad as fuck. Let me get that CD and shit. So, you know, it's evolved a lot, man, and it's for a better thing. You know, we got like Davina's on the new Street Low magazine and shit like that, and we got fucking that Chanten Lil Koner video, hundreds of thousands of hits, Big Oso and Salineros and shit. So, you know, people are getting noticed that it would have took them probably years and shit of work and flyers and going city to city to get noticed before. Now it's like, man, we getting noticed a lot faster out there and shit. People all over the world can see us and shit. So it's cool, man. I'm down with that shit. I bump all different kinds of music and shit, so I mean I bump anything and shit, from some rap to some oldies and everything else in between. So aside from that, from homeboy rap, I mean I could really say I'm really feeling Tito B. That's my partner right there. Like that motherfucker, he might not release a CD every year, every other year, but that fool's fucking, when he makes some music, like it does good. He's got a good phone, and you know he makes some good ass shit out there, quality music that sounds really good, always engineered the right way. Big Tone, man, that dude, he's putting it down right there, man. I like what he's doing, that music, and Kev Knox and shit, man. That whole sound coming out the 925, like they're really blowing it up, man. Homeboys are getting noticed out here, and they're seeing their shit and starting to pay attention to us out here. Davina, she's like, I could say that she, like, I've always been a fan of hers. I know her personally, like, that's my partner and shit right there. That's my good ass homie. She's from the same city as me. We ain't even from the same side, but that's my good ass homegirl. I'm from Irvington. She's from Northside. And we still good ass partners, you know what I mean? We knew each other on that street shit and came up through the music shit. So, you know, I'm glad she's doing it, and fucking she's doing something more than some of these homies are doing out here, and it's crazy. Like, you know, I almost had to rename some shit to Homegirl Rap just to fucking make a new lane for her and shit. And, you know, it's cool, man. They got, you know, fucking homegirls like Tweety. She bringing that gangster shit now. We got homegirls rapping on that gangster shit now. So, you know, there's a lot of diversity out there in how people are doing their music, and it's cool, man. I'm down with that shit and glad to see a lot of people moving up and do that shit, man. So, Little Raider, that motherfucker makes some good ass music right there. Nsanity, I see you guys out there, like you guys are in fucking videos and shit, and you guys are repping for San Ho, man. And one thing, San Ho is a hard market to capture, and you guys, you know, you guys got that shit on lock out there, man. So props for that shit, man. Lil Koner's always making cool albums, compilations and shit. So, you know, there's a lot of good music out there, man. That's what I stay bumping, you know what I mean? Shit, man, shout out to, you know, everybody that was down with me when the shit fell, you know, because when fucking times was hard, a lot of people left, and a lot of motherfuckers that I was cashing out wasn't trying to help me out anymore. So shout out to Tito B. That motherfucker was always down, you know, inviting the homeboy over for dinner and shit when the motherfucker was hungry, shit like that. Shout out to Nsanity, Lil Koner, man, that's the homie right there. Keep doing this shit. My boy Felipe, that's my best friend right there. Shout out to him. He's the best fucking photographer I know. And shit, shout out to everybody out there doing it, man. You know what I mean? Much love for everybody. Bugsy, Stars Limit, all the people that looked out for me on the way and shit to do what I could do and let me go to places that I headed to show you motherfuckers out there in the world. So, and shout out to you for watching. So, much love. What's up, man? It's No Love. You watching Reality Raps TV. It's where you catch all the realest shit in the barrio right here, man. From music to fucking photographers and all that other barrio shit, man. Engineering, you're going to see everything go down on Reality Raps TV. Stay tuned.